Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a great day so far, and welcome if you are new. Thank you so much for trusting a random stranger on the internet to tell you all about the new Pat McGrath concealer. So I picked this up from Selfridges. It launched there as an exclusive. It doesn't appear, that they have the powder as yet. I'm expecting it to come at some point, but obviously Pat wanted to keep the powder on her own website, so this has arrived before I could get the powder, and I thought let's give it a try, and let's give it a try against my current top concealer, and this is the Hourglass Vanish concealer. I raved about this one all throughout my review and ever since. I think it's amazing. It has mega good coverage, it feels lightweight, it lasts amazingly, so I wanted to see whether this could knock this one off its perch, if it's as good as it claims to be, and let's just get right on and test that out. I have also ordered a set on Pat's site. She has a set with a concealer and a powder, and you save a decent few pounds that way, so I have got that coming, and I'll let you know how I feel about the powder when that arrives. But as this one came quicker through Selfridges, I thought let's just try the concealer first. So everything you need to know about this concealer will be up on the screen for you. The one thing I want to point out is that you do only get 5 mils, which is a pretty small amount for concealer. The average size, the kind of standard concealer size, is 6 mils. However, who thought this was what this concealer was going to be priced at? Because I did not. I definitely thought it was going to be starting with a 3 and even possibly a 4. So I think this is a very reasonable price point. I actually saved 10% by using the code Sublime10. Obviously it's not an affiliate discount or anything like that. It was just the VIP discount that she sent out when the concealer and powder went live. So if you use Sublime10, you should be able to get 10% off, which means that set containing powder and concealer, and you choose your own shades, with £36, including free delivery, which I think is a mega deal. Two Pat complexion products for under £40. Who saw that coming? Because I did not. So they are smaller sizes, both the powder and the concealer, but I think that's a very reasonable price point, given that they are small fill sizes, so fair play. I picked up light medium 10. I am the shade 14 in Pat's foundation in my winter skin, so it might seem like it's going to be a bit too light, but I think it worked out really nicely. But yeah, I wanted to try out the peach undertone. I wanted a lighter shade, and I have ordered the shade 14 from her website, and the medium powder. So if it is too bright, I've got a medium powder to sort of tone it down, and I could mix with shade 14, which is obviously the exact same shade as my foundation. In summer, I'm shade 18, so in the summer I'll obviously use the shade 14 to be a brightening shade, and in winter I can use this one, and I think everything worked out really well. So without further ado, let's show you some comparison swatches if you are completely lost with which shade to get. Hopefully this will help you out. So here are the comparison swatches for you. Here is the Pat McGrath shade 10. Next up we have the Hourglass in the shade Sepia. Next up we have the Charlotte Tilbury concealer in the shade 5. Next up is Tarte Shape Tape in the shade light medium. And then lastly we have the Armani in the shade 6. So you can see the Pat McGrath has that very nice peachy undertone to it, and it's probably the closest to either the Charlotte Tilbury or the Tarte. In tone. Definitely the Hourglass is showing much more neutral there in comparison, and I don't feel like the Armani is at all similar, but they are hopefully some helpful swatches for you if you have any of those concealers. So I've got my exposure nice and low, so you can hopefully see what the tea is. I'm going to start off just doing this side with my Hourglass concealer. So as I said, this is the shade Sepia, and I'm going to look a little bit bonkers, so it's a good job I'm not leaving the house today, but this is definitely be my like benchmark concealer currently, because I mean you can see like the coverage is amazing, it blends so quickly. I really don't get like any creasing to speak of. It wears incredibly, and the other day I wore this out and I was staying with my sister and we went to the beach. She lives near she lives at the coast in Dorset, and it was windy as anything, and my eyes were doing that brilliantly helpful thing where they just literally just poured and poured and poured tears, streamed and streamed and streamed, and I thought, good lord, who knows what I'm going to look like when we get back to the house. Looked in the mirror, not one hadn't moved, there was no like rivets through it, there was nothing, it looked perfect. Can't say the same for the rest of my face, but this concealer had not budged, so I was mega impressed. I'm just setting this with my Huda Beauty powder in the shade Pound Cake, as always. So this is just going to give us something to compare to, because I think that's just really helpful, and Hourglass is currently like my benchmark as far as concealer. It's the one I'm loving the most. If you see anything weird going on here or on my nose, I did a really crazily powerful peeling mask the other day. So if you see like some peeling or anything, not the concealer's fault, my fault. So it has a nice fresh sort of skincare-y type scent. Doe Foot is really teeny tiny, very cute, very small and diddy. Perfect for getting into like small areas. I'm gonna zoom you right in so you can really see what is going on here. So it feels a very similar like consistency to the Hourglass if you're familiar with that one. It's like really creamy, quite thick feeling, so you won't need to use a lot. It's kind of, probably I should have used the side to go down my nose. That's, as you can see, a little wonky down there, a bit too thick if you go that way, but you could use the other side or the side of the Doe Foot, which is what I did with my Hourglass, and it's perfect for that. Not too bad of a shade actually. I actually really don't mind this shade, and like I said, I've got the medium powder shade coming, so even if this is like a bit too bright for me, the powder will hopefully counter that a little bit. But I quite like the brightening. I think that looks nice on my chin. This is the order I always go in to blend out, by the way, which can cause you problems if the concealer like sets super quick, but yeah, it doesn't seem to be the case with this one. Not having any issues blending that out, so it's obviously not crazily quick to dry. As far as without powder, that's definitely brightening my under eye more so than this side, but obviously I have set this side with powder, so that will probably tone that brightness down a little bit, which I don't mind. But like, I think that undertone, that peachy undertone, definitely is brightening. I mean, I wasn't expecting that coverage. That's maybe even more coverage than the Hourglass side, which is pretty much the best coverage I've ever tried. I'm just wondering whether to add a little bit. Should we? Just to see, you can see this discoloration still poking through. I just want to see if we can cover that, because I'm conscious there are lots of people out there who will have much bigger issues with discoloration in the under eye area than I do, and so I just want to see for you guys whether we can totally hide that, and also how this layers, because sometimes the layer of concealer doesn't go well. Okay, so that's built nicely. It's still the teeniest bit peeking through, but I'd say that is definitely qualifying as a full coverage concealer in my book. I don't know about you. So let's have a really serious close-up on this, guys. Obviously I haven't set this side yet. I just want to show you it unset, because I know as we age, lots of people with more mature under eyes do not want to set their under eye area. It's really not looking bad at all unset. Really, really not looking bad. Definitely got, it's certainly matching the Hourglass for coverage. I probably used a similar amount even when I went back in and added, because the Doe Foot is smaller, so you do add less product. So yeah, it's definitely right now looking pretty radiant of a finish, more natural. It's not super matte at all, which I really like. So let's set this down and see what happens. Because again, some concealers, once you set them down with powder, particularly on under eyes that are not 14 anymore, that can really alter how it looks and make it too aging or just dry and things like that, or they don't marry well with powder. So I do like to try it both ways. Just a teeny bit of that same Huda powder, and let's see how it compares now that both sides are set. It's almost hard to spot like any difference. I think if anything, I think the pat side, does it look slightly smoother to you guys? I'm always interested to see what you think, you know, through the camera as opposed to what I'm seeing in my mirror. There's hardly any discernible difference as far as coverage. They're almost identical as far as coverage. I'm not noticing creasing on either side. Neither side is like really badly exaggerating lines, things like that. I feel like putting concealer and powder under your eyes does exaggerate lines. However good, I mean, it's not a miracle, it's not going to take them away, and obviously putting product into lines is always going to exaggerate them more so than not wearing makeup. I genuinely am feeling that this side looks smoother. I'd love to know what you guys think. What's your verdict? So I'm going to finish up the rest of my makeup and then I'm just going to go about my business and give this a couple of hours just to see if, as I'm eating, talking, running around, laughing, despairing of life, whether creasing starts to happen. Let's give it a chance to see if anything sneaky is going to happen in the next few hours, and I'll be back. Okay guys, so I have finished obviously the rest of my makeup. I've gone and had my lunch and I've just been chilling out and doing some editing and other bits around the house. So these concealers have now been on for 2.5, nearly 3 hours at this point, and nothing has changed. It will get as close as possible, and I'm going to turn the brightness down on my lights so that you can really see the real tea under my eyes. I genuinely am struggling to like see any kind of difference here. The coverage is almost identical. I feel like both sides look really smooth. I like how they feel. They both feel lightweight. I really don't feel like I can barely feel either one. I don't feel like certainly don't feel like I've got a really heavy under eye concealer under my eye. So I really don't see them exaggerating lines really badly. And if I stretch my face for you, there is the teeny weeniest bit of creasing on the pat side, really nothing on the Hourglass side. So mega, mega good as far as creasing. You know, I'm 36 now. Creasing, you know, almost should be happening, to be honest, but these both look mega good, I will say that. I know that the Hourglass, I don't really love the Hourglass unset. For me, it needs setting. Obviously I've set the pat today, so I'm excited to try the pat out unset and see how it gets on another day. So there you have it. As it currently stands, I wouldn't say obviously on first use. I mean, where's it even gone? I've already lost it. Oh, it's back in the box. I mean, heaven help me. On first use, I wouldn't say this has smashed this one out the park. At the moment, they're very neck and neck. If the pat can be worn without setting with powder, then, and also it will allow me to cry 1,000 tears and not move, it could certainly be close. The price point is fantastic of this one. You know, it's only, I think this one, yeah, 6 mil. So there's only 1 mil difference between the two. And this one's considerably less money. So yeah, it's in with a shot. It's definitely in with a shot. We can only wait and see. I will keep you updated in my, where are we? February. Oh. I'll keep you updated in my February favourites as to how I'm loving both of these in comparison to each other, which one wins out the day. We've got a couple of weeks to go before that happens, and let's put them to the test and see what we think. I can't wait to share my thoughts on the powder with you. I've heard amazing things about the powder. So I can't wait to try both of these actually and see what the powder does. Apparently it's going to just get rid of all of my years of stress and worry, which, you know, who doesn't need that? I hope you found this video helpful. I'm really sorry again that the powder isn't here, but you know, this is UK life, UK struggles when it comes to makeup. It's not going to be here. Who knows if it will even be here next week? We don't know. We can only pray. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I'd love to see you in the next one. Otherwise, take care for now. Bye 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 bye.